Welcome to Asian Anifacts, the channel about Chinese, Korean and Taiwanese actors and actresses. Today I will show you the lists of dramas of Park Shin Yang, Part 2, which includes his breakthrough role in the hit romance drama Lovers in Paris, his award-winning performance in the business romance drama War of Money, and his first historical drama, The Painter of the Wind. But before I continue, please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on who do you want me to feature next. Lovers in Paris, 2004. Cast: Park Shin Yang, Kim Young-eun, Lee Dong-gun, Oh Joo-eun, Kim Seo-hyung, Young Ae-ri. He played Han Ki-joo, a man born with a golden spoon in his mouth, son of a multimillionaire. Han Ki-joo is a bright and sophisticated gentleman with a good sense of humor. But because of his previous experience in arranged marriage and divorce, he's scared of love. Han Ki-joo went to Paris to expand their automobile business and met Kang Tae-young on the street after she mistook him to be the man who ruined the stall of her friend and demanded compensation from him. Kang Tae-young is a woman who used to help her father manage a small rundown theater in the outskirts of Seoul, decides to leave for Paris to study after her father passes away, but she cannot afford to pay her rent unless she works part-time as a cleaning lady. Han Ki-joo has no money in his hand, so he takes Kang Tae-young to his house and found out that she is his housekeeper, who keeps leaving sticky notes for him while she works. Han Ki-joo states that he didn't like Kang Tae-young's cleaning and tidying, so he fired her. Han Ki-joo is preparing for a big business contract with a French businessman, but when he finds out that the French businessman's wife is from the same hometown as Kang Tae-young, he writes an employment contract with Kang Tae-young to pretend to be his wife. Han Ki-joo bought Kang Tae-young a dress, necklace, and shoes, then brought her with him to the house of the French businessman, who warmly welcomed them, and they dine, chat, and even dance. Han Ki-joo was successful in negotiating a business agreement with the French businessman, who was delighted to see his wife bonding with Kang Tae-young as his wife misses the South Korea very much. Han Ki-joo went home with Kang Tae-young, as he given her the payment for her rent as they previously agreed. Then his secretary came to give him a birthday card and deliver a cake from his ex-wife. Han Ki-joo invited Kang Tae-young to eat his birthday cake with him, and they bonded over the cake and allows her to sleep in his house. Han Ki-joo asked for Kang Tae-young's cooperation to pretend to be his wife again for the signing ceremony with the French businessman. At the signing ceremony of the business agreement between Han Ki-joo and the French businessman, Han Ki-joo beat up a French man who harassed Kang Tae-young, causing a mess, because the French man mistook Kang Tae-young for a woman that sells her body because of a misunderstanding in Kang Tae-young's poor French interpretation. The mess exposes the fact that Han Ki-joo and Kang Tae-young were not a real couple, which causes the French businessman to cancel the contract, believing they were deceived by Han Ki-joo. At the car, Han Ki-joo gets mad and says harsh things to Kang Tae-young, who tearfully asked him to let her out of the car. Han Ki-joo drops off Kang Tae-young on the road without hesitation and went on a restaurant where his ex-wife and his nephew was waiting. Han Ki-joo received a phone call from the wife of the French businessman asking to re-sign the contract, because Kang Tae-young already apologizes and explained to her the reason. They pretended to be a couple. Han Ki-joo went to find Kang Tae-young to apologize, but she already left to return to South Korea. Fortunately, Han Ki-joo found Kang Tae-young in South Korea, and he apologized to her and helped her in various trouble that she encountered upon returning to her house. Han Ki-joo also offered Kang Tae-young a job at his company after knowing she needs a job. As Han Ki-joo and Kang Tae-young works in the same company, they eventually became close friends as Kang Tae-young's cheerful personality brightened up Han Ki-joo's cold personality. But when Han Ki-joo was once again forced into an arranged marriage by his father, Han Ki-joo decided to fight for his own love as he started to fall in love with Kang Tae-young, who had also fallen for him. But when a family secret about Han Ki-joo's real father was used to break up his relationship with Kang Tae-young, Han Ki-joo decided to leave for Paris again and started a new life with Kang Tae-young. War of Money, 2007. Cast: Park Shin Yang, Park Jin Hee, Shin Dong Wook, Kim Young Hwa, Lee Young Eun, Yeo Woon Gai. He played GM Nara, a successful fund manager of a big investment company, graduate of Seoul National University's Department of Economics who lives a nice life with a lovely family. GM Nara is in a loving relationship with his rich and gorgeous girlfriend. However, on the day of his younger sister's wedding, a loan sharks ruined the wedding as they came to collect money from GM Nara's father. GM Nara was stunned to know that his father borrows more than 500 million won to a loan shark. GM Nara tried to find ways to come up with the money that he needed to pay off the debt, but the collectors came to his company and kept on bothering him. GM Nara's father ran away, leaving GM Nara to face the burden of paying his father's debt. Unable to pay their debt, their house had been repossessed by the loan sharks who forcefully reside at their house, causing fear and anxiety to his sister and mother. The loan shark also sell all their furniture, which caused GM Nara's mother to collapse from the strain and require surgery. GM Nara tried to borrow from a bank but was denied, and nobody will lend him money, and he's about to be fired from his job. GM Nara's rich girlfriend offered him money, but he rejects her offer. GM Nara's situation is getting worse, so he finally asks for her girlfriend's help. GM Nara's rich girlfriend happily offers, but her grandmother, who has always disliked GM Nara, offers him the money if he will leave her granddaughter. At first GM Nara refused, but then he got a call from the hospital that his mother is about to be kicked out of the hospital without surgery, so he took the deal. GM Nara's girlfriend was informed by her grandmother of the deal and tried to reason GM Nara, but now he needs money more than he needs her. Out of anger, GM Nara's girlfriend threw cash on GM Nara's face as a parting insult. However, GM Nara's mother was not saved by the money, and his father also died after taking his own life. GM Nara loses everything: his parents, his job, his girlfriend, becomes homeless and constantly runs from the loan sharks. GM Nara decided to take revenge on money and the world. He begs a famous moneylender for money advice and embarks in lessons on the meaning of money and human nature. As GM Nara transforms himself into a cold-hearted loan shark, he met Seo Joo-hee, a bank employee and daughter of GM Nara's math teacher, who had previously offered his help on GM Nara, but was rejected. Seo Joo-hee's father borrowed on a loan shark, so she was forced to marry a rich man to pay off her father's debt. But GM Nara ruined Seo Joo-hee's wedding and took the gift money, which caused the groom's parents to demand compensation from Seo Joo-hee for all the losses in the wedding. Seo Joo-hee hated GM Nara for causing more trouble for her. But they later worked together to pay off each other's debt and become a couple. The Painter of the Wind. 2008. Cast: Park Shin Yang, Moon Gun-young, Moon Chae-won, Im Ji-yoon, Ryu Sung-ryong, Bae Soo-bin. He played Kim Hong-do, a talented painter with unparalleled painting talent who began to paint portraits of kings at a young age. Kim Hong-do is widely popular, his paintings are priceless, and many people in Joseon are proud to get one of his paintings. Kim Hong-do likes to have fun, get along with anyone, has a good sense of humor, but he doesn't want to lose to others when it comes to painting. In 1766, Kim Hong-do's fellow member of Doiseo and friend was killed, followed by the wife, and the daughter was missing. 10 years later, Kim Hong-do discovered great talent in Shin Yoon-bak, a new student in Doiseo who has an outstanding talent in painting but only paints according to his own wishes. Kim Hong-do tries to protect Shin Yoon-bak from conspiracies that surround him. The king also discovers Shin Yoon-bak's enormous talent and tasked Shin Yoon-bak and Kim Hong-do to serve as his eyes, depicting the true reality of the common people. However, powerful palace officials conspire to get rid of the two painters, and soon afterwards, they are kicked out of Doiseo. The king secretly orders the pair to find the portrait of his father painted by Kim Hong-do's senior member on Doiseo 10 years prior. Kim Hong-do and Shin Yoon-bak are successful in recovering the portrait, overcoming hurdles and dangerous traps set up by enemies. The recovery of the painting also helps reveal the secret behind the death of Kim Hong-do's friend, who is the father of Shin Yoon-bak. However, Shin Yoon-bak, who has entered the Doiseo as a man, was exposed to be a woman, and as the king doesn't want to execute her, The king order her stay pretending to be a man, leave and never show up again in the capital. Which broke Kim Hong-doo's heart as he already fall in love with her but cannot be with her. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.